Bruh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to eat all of your chicken. Like, I didn't know it was gonna taste that good. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry doesn't bring it back.
Yeah, but what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Like, I can't.
You know what? You know what?
What? What? Bro, what are you doing? Weird.
Are you living healthy? Because I'm trying to live healthy, and Caleon Fox is making sure I live healthy by finally dropping his new single, Uzi Talk. Now, Uzi Talk has been teased since a Dragon Ball Z movie came out, and he basically interspliced a clip of the movie with a teaser part of his song, and then he provided a video with the same teaser part of his song. However, of course, it's in video format, and Caleon Fox's videos have been wonderful, and they are all very creative, and this one was no different. Of course, it just left fans such as myself kind of chomping at the bit to finally hear the full version of this song that he continued to relentlessly tease us with. Now that he's finally dropped this song, it is certified banger. It is aggressiveness, it's a haymaker, it's flamethrowers. Though the third verse doesn't necessarily pack the same clever punch that the other verses seem to be coming at you relentlessly with, it still does have that same aggressiveness because it just punches you in the throat with how amazingly brutal he is in this song. Now, he's not talking about anything gory or graphic, but he's just talking about the potential danger that you could face if you're trying to talk shit about him or talk down on him or pretty much underestimate him. And he did confirm that in a way when he talked about how he didn't seem to like the fact that people seem to keep thinking he's not taking this rap thing seriously or looking at it in a meme. And you can really pretty much infer that from the little teaser music video he did, in which he is judged by a person who is full of assumptions, a studio guy. And he assumes that because of Caleon's look and overall demeanor, he's not necessarily someone who is taking this seriously or rapping about the hardest thing constantly. So he must not. He must be a joke rapper because that's the new, I guess, that's the new way to like diss a rapper. You just call them a meme rapper, or you say that it's basically the new SoundCloud rapper, I guess, unless SoundCloud rapper is still the more prominent insult. However, again, this is Caleon kind of taking all that frustration and anger and just like blasting it back in this wonderful like 2D, there's little 2D bit sounds, there's the really just awesome little talk he has that where like he's not literally talking, but there's like parts in the song where he has his own voice in the background as just like powerful chords, just talk, and it seems like it's almost egging him on in a way, like, yeah, like go get them. I really just love that part, the way that like he uses the bum line, because it's one of his signature catchphrases. If you're like not living healthy, you're being a bum, and he uses it in a way to basically describe those who are not necessarily living their best life or doing something that is detrimental to others. It's a nice way of saying you're not being good. So in this song, Uzi Talk, there was a little bit of confusion I did have with the wordplay about he doesn't need his gun, he doesn't need a gun, bro. He's just gonna let the Uzi talk. So I'm not sure, I'm pretty certain that the Uzi's supposed to represent something and it's just not clicking yet. However, I don't want to dismiss that because I still think it's a pretty cool way to say like, hey, my whole demeanor is dangerous enough. You don't want to like face me, but he's like, it's on sight, like hand signs and making these awesome anime references that quite frankly do appeal to the nerd side of like anyone who's like grown up watching Naruto, or he does reference Big Bang. So that is a Dragon Ball Z one. There's a few anime references that don't click, but I do like the humor that's like littered within this. The fact that instead of, you know, he does the classic show don't tell, except here it's it's more audio wise, because basically when he says, you know, your girl, she wants me, she wants to give me that, instead of saying, you know, the typical rapper would be like, "Pussy," you know, you just say it. Here, he just like he uses the sound of a cat meowing, and it's hilarious because it's like not necessarily a, you know, overt thing, but the way that he basically states it, it brings that hilarity. Also, there's a part where he talks about how he's like, how these other people that are trying to talk down on him are usually like hanging out alone, or like, you know, kind of drowning in the self-pity. He has a tiny little echo of him saying like, "Oh, or you're at your mom's house." It was just like this kind of like not necessarily childish, but just little like playful insults that he's throwing while he's like aggressively blasting his voice through this thing. And it's not like this thing that's like uncomfortable. It's just the way that he interspices his humor, his creativity. The beat on here is sick. Like I said, the interspicing of him saying talk, and it's like this like egging him on. All these components really make up Uzi Talk in this really just awesome style. And I just, Caleon Fox is wonderful. If you've never listened to Caleon Fox, I think Uzi Talk is a cool introduction. If you like anime, and even if you don't like anime or certain like cartoon references, the sheer creativity, I think, is something that can be appreciated here, and it really does shine through in the fact that it's not only something that can be repeatable, but you can listen to this outside of that context, because there's just certain aspects that you can just infer, like, okay, when he says this, although he's referencing an anime, you can kind of infer like he's trying to destroy someone. It's not really rocket science. He's not trying to throw these insane multisyllabic rhymes at you. He's trying to give you basically a depiction of his emotion regarding how people may infer like certain aspects or try to guess or assume things about him based on his look or his personality. And that's the last thing you should do with anyone. So, which he also talks about in his little teaser music video as well. Caleon Fox's Uzi Talk is just, it's a barrage of bullets and a hailstorm and an avalanche, and I enjoy it thoroughly. I have probably played it on repeat a amount of times that I could not count. However, if I tried, I'm pretty sure I would need to grow like a few more arms, and still wouldn't have enough arms and hands on those arms to count it. Caleon Fox, Uzi Talk. Awesome song. You know, this guy says, sometimes our words can be holstered. Sometimes they can be bullets. Sometimes you don't even need a gun, bro. Just gotta let the Uzi talk.